Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is Tom Clark's Main Event. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Happy Friday to you. It is not 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know what you're thinking. This guy can't get it figured out. You're right. But it's all good, baby. I got the shirt. I got the mug. I got the bass. I got 3 of them. You can't see the third one. It's a violin bass. It's a Hofner ripoff. It's a Jay Tercer model. That's when I'm feeling very McCartney. I'll play that one. And I go like that. So, what's up, kids? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the show. I'm Tom. This here be my show. This is the main event. This is episode number 247. Oh my God, are we just clicking along? The answer to that is yes. Yes, we are. We're very glad you could join us here today. We're going to get an overlay happening. Bam, there she is. We're also going to get some tickers or a ticker ticking. Ticket. There it is. Click it and tick it. I'm changing it. Everyone, before I start talking to you, hit the thumbs up, would you? Do it, or I'm going to do this for an hour. Think I'm playing? Watch. I'm waiting for 10. I want 10 likes. Oh, there it is. I didn't have to wait long. That's pretty cool. You know why? Because everyone's like, oh my God, make him stop doing that. Make it stop. If you're just listening to the audio version of this show, you have no idea what you're missing. I sing, I dance, little song, little dance, Batman's Head on a Lance. Guten Tag, Sandy in Germany, my number one fan of all time. My friend, we're here live today at 12 because of you, because you rock. Eric Jackson in the house. What are you up to today, my friend? Jamel, how are you? Double V, Victor Vasquez, Sugar Shane Odom. Carlos Martinez. Carlos, you never get a nickname because you got like the best name ever. And we also got Elvis Martinez. Hopefully he'll show up here today. Another great name, actually. David Down Under. What's going on, my friend? Ray, I love Adam Cole. Adam Cole's my favorite wrestler, Dean. What's up, man? How are you? By the way, next week, Ray, Phil and I are doing another 6M podcast as per the norm on Thursday night. We're doing Low End Theory. Review of the album. I'm actually pretty hyped for that. What's up, Will? How are you, my friend? Welcome back to the show. Chris Harlow in Baltimore. Everyone say hello to Chris. Chris, do you hang out very much on the show? I don't think I see you too often much. Everyone, please make Chris feel welcome. We like to have fun here, Chris. If you've never watched the show, we don't do bad language. We don't rip anyone in half. We don't butcher anybody. We don't spread false narratives and false rumors and all that hoo-ha nonsense. We just have fun for about an hour or so. Talk about pro wrestling. I throw your comments up. I'll answer whatever questions you'd like me to answer. We'll talk about the news of the week. It's your typical white guy pro wrestling podcast. And because you can't get enough of those, because there's only a billion of us out there, but I'm your favorite one wearing a black shirt named Tom Clark with the beard and 2 bases behind him. Don't even lie. Don't even play about that, baby. Yes, I'm like this most days. What's up, Eric? He's playing dad today, baby. I play dad every day, but I feel you. Oh, we're gonna talk some A-Dub. We're gonna kick off with the other companies today. Jumpin' Jeff Sharma. What's going on, my friend? David, my family is very well, sir. Thank you for asking. I hope you and yours are doing as well. Hope you and yours are doing well as well. So there you go. Sandy says this is a better start time for me. Yeah, let's get this right off the bat. Sandy, thank you for bringing that up. Jim Duggan revealed this week that he has prostate cancer. We hope that he will recover. people are living longer and recovering from all sorts of heinous stuff these days, kids. So we hope that will happen for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Linda Osborne, a little chilly in California. Well, there you go. Glad you're watching, as always. I appreciate you. There's Easy E, Elvis Martinez. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for hanging out with us today. Chris, we are going to talk about ROH. It's one of the first things we're going to talk about here today. Tony in Tennessee. What's up, man? How are you? Good to see you. We're going to talk about some Charlotte Flair today, too. Ooh. Wrestling City of Baltimore. Oh, dude, that's cool, man. Hey, man, you got to represent your hometown, dude. I'm about an hour from Charlotte, Conover, North Carolina. So, I can't say, I'm here in Conover. Everyone's going to go, where? So I usually preface that with, I'm about an hour or so out of Charlotte, because everyone knows Charlotte, don't they? Anyway. Tim, hey, listen, Tim, you talk and you comment and you at me on Twitter all the time and on Facebook. Brother, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being a fan, and thank you for always being respectful. I appreciate that as well. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you. I do. Easy E says, what's the dog going to be for Halloween? He's oblivious to it. On a related note, E, my kid is over the trick-or-treat thing. He didn't trick-or-treat last year, and I couldn't even talk him into it. The whole COVID thing was, well, it's still here because people is dumb. So anyway, he's over it. He don't want to do it. The wife tomorrow night is going to a Halloween party, which I don't really care to go to. No disrespect. It's not really my bag. So I'm going to try to find something for the boy and I to do tomorrow night. There's no wrestling shows happening in the area. There's no Hornets games tomorrow night. So I'm going to try to find something for us to get into because I'm off Sunday. So there you go. All righty. What's the Twitter handle for Tom? Oh, my Twitter. Does everyone would like to know me on Twitter? That'd be so much fun. At Tom Clark Pods, Pods, at Tom Clark Pods. Follow me on Twitter, kids. I assure you, I will follow you back. Hey, Vic, listen, man, brother. Hey, listen, to Vic's point, if any of you cats ever message me and I don't get back to you, please don't think I'm dodging you. I promise you I'm not. Okay. But yes, sir, Victor, I appreciate you as well, man. Yes, sir. All right, kids, let's get to some news and stuff today. But before we do, would you like to have some stuff? Are you looking at this shirt and drooling and thinking, man, I could use some shirts? I got no shirts. Would you like to have some coffee, but you got nothing to drink it out of? Well, guess what, baby? If you're cold, need a shirt. If you're thirsty, need a cup. I got all this and much more at tinyurl.com/Tom Clark Pods, Pods. I got merch. I got hats, I got shirts, I got hoodies, I got phone cases, I got blankets, I got pillows, I got freaking magnets and stickers, and you name it, and I got it. All of it right there. And also for Tom Clark's 6M podcast, that's tinyurl.com/Tom Clark Pods. Read the ticker, kids. Look, read the ticker. Let's all read it together, shall we? Tom Clark's main event merchandise, including, say it with me, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, magnets, buttons, and a partridge in a pear tree, all that and more, tinyurl.com/Tom Clark Pods. And if you guys and gals will, if you choose to buy anything from me, number one, full disclosure, I'm not getting rich off of you. You guys should know that right off the bat. Second part of this conversation is, if you choose to buy anything from the site, I would very much appreciate it. Tag me in a post on the Facebook, and I promise you, I will put it on my social media. While you're here, and before we get to the headlines of the day, please hit the heart button and the thumbs up button. I'd very much appreciate it. Or I will start dancing again. No one wants that. We're at 16. Get me to tweener. I'm going to start dancing again. So terrible. What kind of host am I? I threaten. You know what I mean? You want content from me, you're going to have to hit buttons or I start dancing. No one wants that. People have seen me dance. It's not pretty. So there you go. All right. Tony says I could give some away. Man, I got to eat, Tony. You know what I mean? Baby needs a new pair of shoes. I'm just saying. I get you. I've thought about it. Chad, thanks for hanging out. Chad says, finally get to watch you again. Had to have a tooth from me. Boy, doesn't that suck. I've been there. That's terrible. All right. Let's get to the show here, kids. Let's do this. Unless you've been living on a rock for the past week or so, you don't know or you do know, I guess is how I should preface that. Ring of Honor has essentially shut down. Now, no one wanted to see this happen. I will tell you this, a great friend of the show, Mr. Phil Lindsay. Everyone give Phil Lindsay a shout out, if you will. Phil and I have discussed many times. We actually did a Ring of Honor episode for Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Look at the bottom. You'll see where the show's available. Check it out. What's up, Shannon? How are you? I got to say hi to Shannon. What's up, Shannon? Chris, we'll get to you, my friend. I promise you. Phil and I have discussed on the Ring of Honor episode, we didn't know how much longer they were going to be able to push forward at the rate they were going. No fans. And I had been asked before about, Tom, why don't they have fans back? Number one, could they sell out a building? Number two, COVID protocols in order to clean and sanitize a venue. If you're doing it the right way and doing it by certain protocols of whatever city/state that you're running in, it's not a cheap prospect, kids. It's not a cheap prospect. Okay. It takes money to do these things. It takes money to run a show, period. Anyone that's ever run a pro wrestling show can tell you that. Okay. So with that being the case, here's what I'll say to you. I certainly never wanted this to happen. I tweeted a couple, 2-3 days ago that if you are a fan of pro wrestling, then you want every company to succeed. And I know that that's lip service sometimes for a lot of people, but it truly is not for us. Okay. We're talking about WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Rev Pro, Guerrilla Pro Wrestling. I mean, we're talking about every pro wrestling company that's trying to do it the right way, that's paying respect to the business, is trying to earn some money for its performers, for its talent, for its crew. Okay. We want them all to succeed, because the more successful pro wrestling companies there are in this industry, the better this industry is as a whole. We need, thank you, Sandy, MLW. I always leave out MLW, and I don't mean to. I got to get caught back up on their stuff, dude. We need Ring of Honor back. What they claim is that what I've not been told, but here's what I've heard. Okay, so I'm just giving it to you the way I've heard it. Supposedly that the guy's under contract until the end of December, or December 15th, I think, is when the last big event of the year for them is. And then they're supposed to start back up in April of next year. The rumors are they're going to reimagine. They're going to do new concepts. I don't know what this means. Part of the thing going around right now is that supposedly, don't hold me to this because I don't know, okay? But here's what supposedly is going to happen. When they start back up next year, no one's going to be under contract. Now, I can tell you this, from an independent pro wrestling standpoint, and I would know, trust me, I'm not the only one that would know, but I know firsthand, there's a lot of danger in Ring of Honor becoming an independent pro wrestling company. No one under contract, which means their talent is free to work wherever they want to. There is an inherent danger in that, and that is this. Let's say they put the title on whoever, whether it's the world title, TV title, tag titles, women's title. They just freaking made the thing, okay? Let's say they put a championship on someone. That person goes and works the next weekend in another company. Let's say that company has a streaming channel. Let's say that company has a TV show. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there for you, okay? Let's say that talent loses. Bad. Now, was it the other promoter's intent to, get ready for air quotes, bury? I'm going to bury him, pal. Not necessarily, but it's just for that particular night, we're not going to go over. Let's say they didn't go over at all, okay? Not squashed, but you get it, right? Why would anyone ever believe in your champion again? That's the same issues that you face as an independent pro wrestling promoter. And that's the truth, baby. That you always have the fear that your talent's going to go work elsewhere and get jobbed out. And you just don't want that to happen. That's not a good thing for anyone in your company. It's not good for your brand. It's not good for your championship holders. Okay. It makes your champions look weak. It makes your brand, your company look second rate and second best. So is all of that going to happen? I don't think it is. I hope not, but I cannot tell the future. Belinda, how are you? Tammy, welcome to the show. I appreciate you. Chad says, good day from the land of amazing barbecue and losing football, Kansas City. What's up, Chad? Go Jayhawks. I know that reference because I'm an old school NWA fan, and Kansas City Jayhawks with Bobby Jaggers and Dutch Mantell. I'm saying. So, yeah, we here at Tom Clark's Main Event, and I'm sure every fan watching this now and later will echo what I'm about to say. We wish nothing but the best for the talent of Ring of Honor. That includes the guys and gals in the ring, as well as the production crew, behind the scenes, the commentary, Ian Riccaboni. I mean, it's all these guys and gals who worked extremely hard. Just because there's no fans in the building, folks, does not mean the effort wasn't put in, okay? Do not forget about this. Do not forget about the hard work that goes into entertain you on a weekly basis. Ring of Honor put the work in, okay? Elvis, I did not hear this. Oh, wait. Elvis is trash talking me. How dare you badmouth the Vikings? I shouldn't even put your comment up, Elvis. Who do you think you are? As a fan of Impact calling Moose the N-word. Good God Almighty. Are you kidding me? What's wrong with people, man? People suck, dude. Okay, so Ray's asking a question. Is Jay Lethal going to AEW? And Ray, this begs an interesting point right here from you, my man. I appreciate you. The top talent, the top tier of Ring of Honor, Jay Lethal, Jonathan Gresham, the Briscoes, Dalton Castle. I mean, where are they going? Brody King. Brody King not going to have a problem getting a job, babe. Okay? You know why? New Japan Pro Wrestling for one. Bateman's got a gig with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He should be fine. Brody King should be fine. Okay? I'm just throwing out there to you. Dalton Castle, in my humble opinion, in this guy's opinion, could walk into WWE today and own that show. Raw or SmackDown, either one. That's what I believe. I stick to that. And you know how I'll say things like, oh, God, I don't want to see this person go to WWE. I'd love to see Dalton Castle go to WWE. And I say that with no hesitation in my voice. Do you want to know why? Because even if the gimmick that he were to do were to be close to what he's doing now, he would still get it over. Dalton is one of those guys that if you look at that gimmick that he ran in Ring of Honor, you would look at from a distance and say, how in the world does he get over? He's so good. He is so good. He doesn't give enough credit. Charisma by the absolute truckload. The boys, shut up. In this day and age of acceptance and we don't try to look down on people for choices, lifestyle choices. You mean to tell me you couldn't envision that gimmick on Monday Night Raw? Are you high? I could totally envision on Monday Night Raw. I would love to see Dalton Castle make a splash in WWE. I'm not even playing about that. I'm not even playing about that. Mark agrees. Dalton got crazy charisma. Sandy's mentioning Wyndham. Supposedly, Bray Wyatt's the man formerly known as Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda. His contract is a 40-day, 90-day no-compete clause is up. So, bam. Lisa says, we only show up on AEW Dynamite. Lisa, I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't be surprised if he came to Impact. I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up in New Japan. Does AEW have room for him? Mark says he's going to AEW. Well, you think he is. Do you know? How do you know? What's been set in stone? You could end up being right. But how do you know? Until I see it, I'm not buying any of it. Maybe he will. Ray says Dalton would crush it in WWE. I agree totally. And Adam Cole has the best personality. Ray, you have got to go to a live event AEW, and you got to do fan access if they offer it, if you can. And freaking meet Adam Cole. For real, dude. And you got to get a picture with him. Have you ever done that? You totally need to do that. You need to stand in line, pay the $100 or whatever it is, and get a photo with this cat. I'm serious. Shane says Angelina Love will probably go back to Impact, but I would love to see her in AEW. I'm not really crazy sold on her. I don't dislike her, but Elvis says Tom Clark for GM of WWE SmackDown. Not if there's a possibility Brock Lesnar can throw me around. I'm too old to be bumping like that. Chaz says, what do you think about Strowman now being officially as the Titan? I'm okay with that. He needs to come up with his own persona. The Titan actually fits. And isn't it funny? It's Titan. Titan Sports. Titan Towers. I'm just saying. Shannon says, wherever he goes, I just want him to be happy. I couldn't agree more. So there you go. Yes, but again, kids, we got a lot to get to. We'll get to it. All the best to everyone involved with Ring of Honor. Let's talk for a minute about the Cody Rhodes promo. So last week, after he beat Malachi Black, I said, and I wrote a column actually on Wrestling Rumors. You can check it out. Cody Rhodes headed for a character change. And I didn't say he was. I was just opining that has the time come or is he going to stick to his guns? Well, Cody dug his boots in He's going to stand his ground. In Cody's words, I'm not going to turn. Okay, so it's a new era. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Okay, in the sport of professional wrestling, in this day and age of being honest and upfront and being transparent with the fans, Cody's being more than transparent. Cody's like, I'm not pandering. I know you're going to take it that way, but I actually love each and every one of you guys. I believe that's from the heart. I don't think that's a work. If he worked us during that promo, he's much better than people give him credit for. And that's the truth. I think it was from the heart. I think he said everything he wanted to say. He's dug his heels in, kids. He's not turning. I respect that. What I told Phil the other night was that he did the one thing that John never did. John never got honest with you as an audience. He would cut promos about people wanting him to change, and y'all know me. I'm not gonna. Nah. I don't remember a promo, and if one exists, sue me, okay? Because I don't remember it. I don't remember a promo when John looked you in the eye as an audience and said, "I love each and every one of you, and I'm not going to turn. It's the easy way out, and I'm not taking the easy way out. It's too easy for me." You see what I'm saying? So I respect that. I think Cody did the one thing again that John never did. John Cena, kids, by the way, not Moxley. Don't get my John screwed up, okay? But I respect that. What do you kids think about Cody Rhodes' promo? What do you think about what he said? Come on, guys, hit me with something. What did anyone see Cody Rhodes' promo? Jamel says, my wife asked, why does everyone hate Cody? I honestly don't know. Jamel, it's a combination of things. Number one, his politics. Yowza. They're not mine. I'm just saying, okay? Go with God, brother. That's number one for a lot of people. Number two, the way he carries himself. The whole waving the flag, wearing the colors. He's wearing a cape. He's Evel Knievel at the pay-per-view. That's starting to wear a little bit thin. There's a difference between having pride and where you're from and not being ashamed of it. I'm not saying he's got to be ashamed of anything. You try to do that stuff within the confines of a pro wrestling angle or character, you're dancing the line. It's especially for Cody, who doesn't need to do those things. The American Nightmare is in reference and in homage to the American Dream. How often did you see Dusty wearing the flag? He did occasionally, but not every week and not for every big match. You see where I'm going with that? And before anyone comes at me, I'm not suggesting that he needs to rip off his dad or anything like that. And I'm not trying to compare and contrast here, but I'm just trying to make a point that you can have a nickname all day long, but it's like, to me, it's sort of shaky ground when you try to. I think people feel like he's force feeding it to them. I don't think that's helped him at all. To be honest with you, I don't think it's helped him at all. Tim says Cody Rhodes doesn't want to turn heel. He loves the fans, doesn't want to hurt the TNT brand. And you know what, Timothy, to your point, there's something to be said for that. Shannon says a promo had my attention. Read that. Let's over here. Read it. She makes a great point. I mean, I want to hear everything he said. I hung on his every word. I did. Elvis says, I'm waiting for Arn to turn on Cody. Didn't you half expect it? Here's the problem, E. Here's the problem. In my opinion, I think it hurts Cody. I think an Arn Anderson turn hurts Cody because no one dislikes Arn Anderson, especially after the Glock thing. No one dislikes Arn Anderson for sure. He turns on, if he drops Cody or he has someone drop Cody, Cody's dead in the water. I'm calling it. I'm not saying he couldn't bounce back from it, but it's another strike against his character. I'm just saying. Alicia says, I saw it and was impressed. If he is lying, then he needs an Oscar. Well said. Let's see. Shane says, the only thing Cody should change is his hair color. I understand it's probably a tribute to Dusty, but it ain't working. To each his own, Shane. I'm okay with it. I think it helps him stand out more. Tina is here. Everyone, please go check out and support Peaches and Power Bombs. Tina gave me mad props one day on Twitter. I appreciate your kind words, but as I said to you on the Twitter machine, you and Sarah, the two that put the hard work in for your show, not me. So congrats to you. She says, I don't hate understand the Cody hate. I thought his promo sounded, I believe it was genuine also. We'll see what happens. I'm sort of mixed on how I feel about the whole thing. Do I think a character change is needed? Yeah, but I said that about John. I was one of the guys thinking that John should have turned heel when Punk was at his hottest. It would have helped Punk tremendously, and it also would have helped John tremendously too. But by turning John heel at that time, would you have overshadowed Punk eventually? To be honest, man, they allowed him to overshadow Punk anyhow. So what was the difference, honestly? Let's talk a little bit about something we don't hardly ever talk about here. Let's talk about some Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory results. They crowned their first ever digital media champion. Jordan Grace defeated Chelsea Green. Was it Crazy Steve? See, you can tell I don't check out Impact Wrestling all that often. Fowler Ball and Madison Rain. There you go. She's your new and first ever digital media champion. I don't know what that means, but okay. The Inspiration with two eyes, formerly known as the Iconics, Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay defeated Decay and Rosemary to become the brand new Impact Tag Team Champions. Now, you know what this means? They're the first women, the first tag team to hold the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships and the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships. So there you go. That's pretty historic, don't you think? Trey Miguel defeated El Fantasmo. I'm here for El Fantasmo. Tournament final three-way match for the vacant Impact X Division Championship. Good God in heaven. Impact X Division Championship. There it is. Heath returned to the scene, formerly known as Heath Slater. Heath and Rhino defeated Violent by Design in a basic tag team match. There you go. Moose won by last eliminating Matt Cardona in a 20-wrestler intergender Collier shot gauntlet match. Moose won, and that came into play later. The Good Brothers defeated Finjuice and Bullet Club by pinfall. Three-way tag team match for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Mickie James is the brand new Impact Knockouts champion, defeating Deonna Purrazzo. I can't say I didn't see this coming, but I was a little surprised, to be honest with you. Josh Alexander defeated Christian Cage to become the Impact World Champion. So there you go. And also, Moose then defeated Josh Alexander to become the Impact World Champion. Now, at least we forget that the King himself debuted at the end of this sucker, Minoru Suzuki. Actually, did he Suzuki debuted on Impact itself on the show. Anyway, the King showed up. There's going to be a tag team match happening later on. Did anyone catch Bound for Glory? Timothy says, congratulations to Mickie James, for sure. Shane says, Moose had a nice promo on Impact. He covered every champion in the promo. Yeah, he name dropped like crazy, didn't he? Chris says, Heath is bulked up. The guy lives in the gym at this point. Everyone, please welcome Ghazi to the podcast here today. The Digital Media Championship, in theory, is a little to be defended on internet-exclusive shows, so Impact's Twitch, Facebook Live, and other streaming services. I figured as much, but again, Dylan, I don't watch Impact. No disrespect to any of the talents, but I've made it perfectly clear in the past, I'm not an intergender wrestling guy. If you are, go with God, brother. It's perfectly fine with me. It's just not my bag, okay? It's just not something I get into too much. And to be straight with you, it keeps me from watching that show. It's probably not fair to anyone else, but, you know, there's certain people in that company I'm not a huge fan of, if I'm being straight, but there's no need to call anybody out. Jamel says, Annie to Bound for Glory was awesome. Vince need to take notes. Jamel, Vince cares as much about Impact Wrestling as my dog cares about this remote control sitting in front of me, which is to say, not at all. Chris, we're going to get to Lance Archer here in a sec. What's up, Miss Lopez? Welcome back to the show, my friend. Everyone, please tell Miss Lopez hello. So, yeah, there you go. There's your Impact Bound for Glory results. Let's talk about NJPW Extra is coming to YouTube. If you guys don't know about this, this is a brand new YouTube show. And basically, it's a recap show, I think is what we're talking about. The official press release on NJPW1972.com reads, NJPW fans will have a new destination viewing every week on YouTube starting soon, as NJPW Extra will make its debut November 1st. bringing together all the big news from NJPW rings around the world. Extra will deliver highlights from action in Japan and on NJPW Strong. Fans can expect to see an exclusive match every week, not available anywhere else. And the match in question, Jordan Clearwater, Kevin Knight, and the DKC. Two of these young men, of course, from the New Japan's LA Dojo, against Bateman, Mysterioso, and Barrett Brown. So there you go. Be a good match. On the first episode, we go back to Resurgence and the pre-show match that saw the Stray Dog Army face Jordan Clearwater, Kevin Knight, and the DKC. And then episode 2 on November 3rd, we'll see a huge singles match from Showdown in Philadelphia as Alex Zane and Will Ospreay go head-to-head for the first time ever. There you go. It will be on NJPW's official English YouTube, which means, yes, it will be in English. Everything should be. Probably Kevin Kelly is my guess. So for you kids who don't subscribe to NJPW World, shame on you. But now you'll get an additional taste of what's going on inside that company. Sandy, I got no news on Greg Hamilton. WWE showed him the door this past, few days ago, I think. All the best to him. So, yeah, I'm sure he'll lay on his feet if it's something he wants to do. Mark, thanks for hanging out, my friend. I appreciate you. Cherie says, I think it's strange they gave the title to Mickie. Don't get me wrong, like Mickie, but love Donna. Donna was an excellent champ, Cherie, to your point. But honestly, I think that she'll get the belt back. Yes, Gazi, we have talked about Ring of Honor already, my friend. So there you go. Carlos says, I stopped watching Impact because they changed channels too many times and I can't watch it now. Eventually they're going to land on a channel you don't get. I feel that. They've got a streaming service also. I don't subscribe to it. My God in heaven. I got way too many services right now. I'm paying out the, backside for it. Everything together. Speaking of New Japan kids, Kota Ibushi, as we covered last week, had a very, very dangerous incident happen to him in the finals of the G1 Climax against the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. Kota Ibushi landed awkwardly, did the Phoenix Splash, landed hard on the mat, separated his shoulder, or dislocated his shoulder, I should say. The word coming out of New Japan, he's only going to miss 2 months. I predicted 8 months to a year. Man, was I off. Here's what I'll say. Pro wrestlers who are in excellent shape tend to heal a bunch faster. Ask John Cena. He'll tell you. So, yeah, it happens. I didn't expect 2 months. But here's what I'll say. As I say, for every talent that ever gets hurt or is healthy and all the above, I want these guys and gals to be as happy, healthy, and safe as they possibly can be. If it's the right time in 2 months to bring this young man back, then bring him back. I say young man, I'm calling him that. I don't care how old he is. I want Ibushi to be okay. He's a very important part of that company. He's great for them. Alma, how are you doing, my friend? Thank you for checking us out again today. I appreciate you. Let's see. Goss says they're looking to getting a match book with Matt Taven or Silas Young. Oh, man, they would. There you go. Oh, man, dude, they'd be great to learn from. I think Taven is extremely underrated, dude. Can I be honest with you? Extremely underrated. Let's see. David asked me what I thought of the young Uso. I think he looks good. I think that is his logical home. We'll see how it all plays out. Do I have all the faith in the world that he won't be misused? No. But I got to call it like I see it, kids. Chris says Briscoe's the GCW Tag Team Champions. Yes, sir, that happened as well. It kind of makes you wonder, do they have some kind of advanced knowledge or did they see the writing on the wall? Yes, everyone's talking about Bailey. I'm anxious for Bailey to come back as well. So, yeah, all the best to Ibushi. I want him to come back as strong, happy, healthy, and safe as fast as he can, as time allows. Yeah, I think that company needs him too. Speaking of guys getting hurt in the ring, Lance Archer, who did the moonsault off the top and against Kingston on Dynamite last week, and man, landed on the top of his head. Very scary moment. He was obviously shook up. He was tweeting within moments from the locker room. He's okay. Supposedly the word is he passed concussion protocols. They gave him the test, and he does not have a concussion. He's okay. So that's great news. That's really great news, actually. We don't want to see anyone get hurt ever in the ring or outside of it or whatever. And and Gauze, I'm with you. It was a very terrifying moment, very scary moment. And you know what? Lance is such a good guy. You got the Murder Hawk Monster. You ever follow him on Twitter? That's not who he is on the Twitter machine, kids, at all. I mean, he's a real person on Twitter. So yeah. How long do you think it will be before he's called? Talking about Uso's brother, take as long as you can possibly take. Take a year. Take 6 months. I'm serious. You do it now, you're going to be rushing him. You rush this kid too soon. Anytime we've seen young talents rush too soon, it never ends well. And you can point to other companies and say the same thing. It's not a good idea to rush him. Don't do it. Leave him alone as long as you can. Now listen, we've also heard all these things about Naomi should join the bloodline. Leave it alone. If what they have is working, then leave it alone. That's respectfully my answer. And especially with this kid, give him time. Give him time. Shane says WWE has went down since the company went public. Do you reckon that because now McMahon has to abide by community standards like Facebook does? I comment on a wrestling post and they said it went against their standards. What? Jeez Louise. They've always had to. They serve, and you're right, going public, they serve a lot of masters. They do. But so does AEW, man. Listen, once you become prime time and you've got a network TV deal, you serve more masters than just the audience, and that's the truth. Ad sponsors. I mean, WWE has to serve investors also. Yeah, I'm sure it affects them. No doubt about it. Chris says Mox destroyed 10. He did, but that's what it called for. You know what I mean? So we'll get there, Sandy. I promise you. So yeah, glad to hear that Lance Archer is good. Let's talk a little bit about Rampage. Shall we? Yes, we shall. This is what we know about Rampage going into tonight. We are going to get Dr. Britt Baker. I blew it, didn't I? I should have had this thing queued up. Tonight, rewind. Tonight, we get Dr. Britt Baker. Did everyone do the thing? I hope that you did. Tonight, AW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Abaddon. Trick or treat match. Ooh. I'm going to tell you what, I've seen some scary things in pro wrestling, but that makeup that Abaddon uses is flat out terrifying. I don't care. Laugh at me. I don't even care. Forget you and your laughter. I ain't running from it. It's horrifying. Dante Martin will go 1-on-1 against Matt Sydal. What's everyone's opinion on Leo Rush? I saw a tweet the other day from another podcast host who made a point to say that that they felt that Dante Martin had made more of an impact in the very short amount of time he's been in the business than Leo Rush has made in his entire career. Because he's got a buzz around him, people are talking about him, and that he felt like that Leo's never really had that. Whether because by design in terms of the company he worked for, or because maybe he just couldn't generate it. I don't know. It's not for me to say. I'm just asking you guys what you think. And also another big match advertised for tonight. Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston in the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament. There you have it. I don't want any spoilers. Anyone giving me spoilers in this chat will be kicked out of the show. No spoilers. I should have prefaced that. Please, please, and thank you. No spoilers. I will show you the door. Shannon says the first two women's matches in AEW have already surpassed the total match time for the Queen of the Ring. The whole Queen of the Ring tournament was under 20 minutes. It came in at like 18 point something. It's an evolution, Tom. It's the women's evolution. We're evolving, Tom. Really? Okay. You know who you feel bad here for is the women of that company. I do. Listen. They care about women's wrestling as much as my cats care about this ring light over my computer. That's the truth. They don't care about women's wrestling. In my opinion, the whole women's wrestling thing was just to pacify fans who were online screaming for women's wrestling. Give divas a chance. Remember that hashtag? It was to pacify the crowd. Stephanie McMahon threw herself at it. They signed Ronda Rousey, did all this stuff. All women's pay-per-view, blah, 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 blah. And then when that pay-per-view did deliver the numbers they thought it would, or hoped it would, pull it. Absolute shame. Absolute shame. Don't make me soapbox. I'll do it. It's my show. I don't care. Absolute shame. Women's wrestling deserves a whole lot more than just a pay-per-view. It deserves their own show. Women should have their own show. And WWE has the means to make it happen. They're not going to. Triple H has made his opinion very clear on this. Very clear. Go back and listen. You'll know what he said. Jamel says, my 12-year-old daughter said that she was a lot more interested in the tournament more than the Queen's Crown. In the TBS tournament. Jamel, from her lips to the ears of God, my friend. There you go. Chris says Leo's great in ring, but loses on the mic. I think that. Let's go, Bobby. Bobby Lashley. Bobby. Come on, Bobby. Remember that? I didn't do him any favors. Remember yelling at ringside in the mic where the whole freaking arena can hear him? I don't think that did him any favors. Just my take. Tina says Eddie Kingston is so likable. And even though I know logically it should go one way, but my heart just says, no, I don't care about that. Eddie needs to win everything. What'd you think about Daniel's comments where he was saying that Eddie doesn't put the work in? And everyone took that to mean Eddie doesn't train, which is exactly what it meant. He doesn't train in the gym. He doesn't have cardio. He doesn't have conditioning. He can't stand the test of time. And then Daniel reiterated his comments in front of Kingston. And then after the guy walked off the other night, which was another awesome interview with both guys. But his point was, I'm the better wrestler because I basically, to paraphrase, I'll last longer than you will. He never questioned Eddie in a fight. No one questioned that Eddie was an amazing fighter with more guts than brains. Truth. Eddie probably tell you that too. But he can't outlast Bryan Danielson. And I kind of get where he's coming from. I don't think it. And you know what? Look, call it for what it is. We don't know the inner workings of this company like we think we know WWE, where it's a producer hands these guys lines. These guys aren't handing anything. And I'm sure that before they did this interview, they talked to each other and said, what do you think? And I'm sure he was like, hey, man, call me out. I got a beer gut. Call me out on this. Tell him I don't train. Tell him that you're going to do this, that, and the other. I don't care. The point is to get the match over. This whole idea of he said something about me. No, it's about getting the match over. A pro doesn't care what's said. It's about getting the match over. They did. You tell me you're not anxious to see this, man. You tell me you're not anxious to see this. Ray, I'm with you. As I said earlier, Impact has a men fighting women, so I'll pass. I agree. So right now they're right back where they started. Talking about the women in WWE? Yeah, for sure. Yep. Jamel says, my wife says that every time she sees him, she says he looks like he just walked out of the crowd drinking beers and jumped to the ring. I loved it. And you know who else had that? You know who else had that? Stay with me. Who else had the everyman persona? Bryan Danielson. You know how many columns I've written comparing certain people to Dusty Rhodes? I wrote it about Austin. I wrote it about Punk. I wrote it about Bryan. I'll probably write it about Kingston too. The everyman. The guy that the dudes in the crowd will respect. And the guy that the women in the crowd will like because of his heart. Not because of his face. Not because of his movie star good looks. But because of his heart. Because this guy would jump in front of a bus to save a nun on the street. Sacrifice himself. That's Kingston. You see what I'm saying? That's Dusty. That's Daniel. That's Punk. It's Austin. Do you know what I mean? Austin, not so much. Austin was... Austin at his peak would have flipped the nun off. No, I mean, you know what I'm saying, right? The idea of the everyman concept, where Austin was in tremendous shape. I get it. The guy lived in the gym at certain points in his career. He's bulked up big time. But And yes, he was an athlete, but you get what I'm saying there, right? That everyman quality where it's like he could be one of us. We could be him. Darby Allin has that too. Don't ever mistake how important that connection is. And you guys know that. You guys know that. Shane says Eddie Kingston should pull an Allen Iverson practice. We were talking about practice. Oh, I love that, actually. I love that. Chris says, who do you think will be the first AW star to jump to WWE? I don't know, Chris. I'll never really sat around and thought about that. If I had to really, if you put me on the spot right now, I don't know if I have anybody for you. Do you want to know why I say that? Because they all seem very happy. Now, if the right opportunity comes up and it's the right opportunity for that person and their family, they'll take it. Luchasaurus? Maybe. I'm just throwing it out there. But I don't know. Elvis says next Saturday he meets Kevin Nash. Cool. Nice. By the way, ratings, kids, this week, Dynamite, 941,000, way up from last week's Saturday night time slot, in which they did 575. Rampage, we don't know that's still happening. Last week, 533K. There are your ratings, kids. Let's talk a little bit about Becky and Charlotte. What about the news coming out this week? You saw what happened on SmackDown with the title being dropped. So the story is that Charlotte inadvertently dropped it. It's live TV. You're a pro. You're a pro and it's live TV. You're the women's champ and it's live TV. You are the daughter of the Nature Boy, the leader of this women's division, the most crowned champion in the women's division of all time, and you drop the title. Oops. Butterfingers. Now, I'm not saying she dropped it on purpose. Perish the thought. What I am saying is it sure didn't feel like her heart was in this. And then Becky, because it's Becky, and because there's always been what I would call a friendly rivalry, but a rivalry nonetheless, and maybe not bad feelings, these women have to get along and work together backstage and have civil conversations. Do I think, well, Tom, behind the curtain, they're at each other's throats? Stop. This isn't soap opera, man. Stop. They got to be pros in the ring or they probably lose their jobs. You see what I'm saying? I don't believe it's as bad blood as we think. Is this Brett and Sean? I don't know if I think it's Brett and Sean. Do I think it could become Brett and Sean? I don't know. There was so much he said in the midst of that thing where the work became a shoot and stuff that was said was all supposed to be storyline. And it was. And then it got too real. And Brett was left going, you're not taking this seriously, are you? This is all supposed to be a work. And Sean's like, no, it is a work. I'm good. Everybody's good. And then it come out that everybody wasn't so good. The part of this problem from the visual standpoint of what we see every week, pull close if you're not ready to hear, or if you can't hear, put your AirPods in, put your headphones on if you got them. Look how snazzy. Are you ready? It occurs to me you never see my ears. Aren't they huge? I don't know why I did that. Get ready. Becky Lynch has no business. Zero business. Big fat stinking goose egg business. Zero chance. None. Absolute none. No reason on this planet or any other to be a freaking heel. Can you say 4 words? Say it with me. Ill-advised heel turn. Never should have turned her heel. That crowd was cheering her the other night. Never should have turned her heel. It's a bad idea. That's not helping, kids. It's not helping. They edit it for the YouTube videos. They edited the belt drop on YouTube, cut it out. They can edit all they want to. They can't edit anything on when it's happening live, and we all see it and hear it. Becky Lynch has no business being heel. If I ever got the chance to interview Becky Lynch, I would say, as professionally as I could, I've respected your work for a long time. In my humble opinion, you shouldn't be a heel. What in the world's going on over there? Saying it. Sandy says that's what I thought, and Sasha should have won the SmackDown Women's Championship. Guess who else Well, this is Bianca, but guess who thought that Bianca should have won that night against Charlotte? Charlotte. So Charlotte's got some issues too. Charlotte's got issues with them. Becky's got some issues with Charlotte. Sonya Deville's mad at both of them. I guess. Supposedly, Charlotte was shown the door, flew to Miami that night to hang out with Andrade at Dynamite. Or, yeah, the next night. So there you go. Ooh, how things simmer, how they churn, how they boil. It is Halloween weekend after all. Shannon, from your lips to the ears of God. If it's not broken, don't fix it. You know what WWE's motto is? If it ain't broke, break it. And they do all the time. Check it all the time. Want to know why? Reasons. Money. Bling. I'm just saying. That's why. Because one guy in that big, nice room with the polished maple table and the cushy chairs and the catered lunches and the espressos and the delivered lattes and the manicures and the money clips. They're all listening to one guy, and he's the smartest guy in the room. Want to know why? Because he's bankrolling the whole stinking thing. They're all listening to him. And you know what he says? I think Becky Lynch should be a heel, pal. Now, if this comes out 5 years from now that Vince was against this heel turn, but he likes Becky, he appreciates what she's done for the company, and he wanted to let her have this. We've heard stories about he let Austin have things. He let Shawn have things. He even let Punk have things at one time. I'll let you have this. Maybe it'll come out. Maybe Tom will be all wrong. Who knows? But it feels like, oh, you'll be the biggest heel. You'll be the biggest heel since Darth Vader, pal. It's not working. Yes, Pumpkin Spice Ray. Are you kidding me? The long-lost Spice Girl. Pumpkin Spice. I want to see that Spice Girl. Maybe Charlotte is tired of carrying the women's division. He knows how you capitalize the word carrying. I like that. She is seeing what AEW is doing with the women, and she is tired of the gimmicks. Now, Shane, you're a dude. All the women in the chat, if you don't want to hear something just a little blatantly sexist, just a little sexist, just a scoosh sexist, just a little bit too macho, earmuffs. Shane, let you and me talk one-on-one. Are you ready? You ever had a woman talking and doing something you didn't want to do before, Shane? Did you ever talk a woman into doing something that I'm not? Hey, clean up your thoughts. This is rated PG, okay? You ever quit your job for a woman? Has she ever quit her job for you? Did she move in with you when maybe she's better off by herself? Did she ever skip girls' night out to hang out with you that night? Peer pressure that's involved in a relationship, especially when it's brand new and you're really, really in love with each other, there's a lot of pressure there. Women, you can come back. Earmuffs, take them off. Because women can be guilty of this too. Both sides can be guilty of it. And I use the word guilty, but is it guilty? I don't know if guilt's the right word. But you want to be with your significant other. You want to do things with them. I had a conversation with a guy a couple, 2-3 weeks ago. He's like, oh, so-and-so wouldn't hang out with us because he said he's going to hang out with this girl. And I said, dude, no offense. She's a lot better looking than you are. And he just laughed at me. I said, man, it's not that he doesn't want to be your friend, but dude, his priority in life is not you, my friend. It's her. She's the one he's with. She's the one he's got to make happy. And she should be thinking, he's the one I'm with. He's the one I got to make happy. Because otherwise stuff don't work. The person you should... Welcome to Life Advice from Tom Clark. Today we talk about relationships. I'm just saying. You know where I'm getting at here, kids, right? Do you run and jump and breach contract and don't sign? And hey, WWE, do you do that because of Andrade, your guy? Guess whose business it's not, Shane? Mine. Maybe it's not my business. Not maybe. It's not my business what she does. From a distance, and I mean from way over here in my office, it kind of feels like there's a little tug of war, maybe. That much? I don't know. I'm just saying. And you know what? You know who's right and wrong in this? Really nobody. Because everybody's different. Certain people can handle certain things. Would it work out for Charlotte if she came to AEW? Maybe. Could it be terrible? Sure. It just depends. Moving on. Brock Lesnar indefinitely suspended. Storyline time. You got to explain Brock not being on TV for like another 6 months or however long it's going to be this time. How do you do that? He's indefinitely suspended. And by the way, no one's crying today for Scrap Daddy Iron Pierce. Or Adam Pierce, excuse me. Scrap Daddy. There you go. Scrap Iron Adam Pierce. No one's crying for him, are they? Former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, disrespected on live TV, had his pants ripped open. You know how much that suit cost? We're not talking Ric Flair level money, baby, but still it was a suit that he paid good money for from a tailor somewhere. And now Brock ruined it. You ruined it, Austin. Ruined it. It's all storyline. It's okay. I don't care. But again, when Brock comes back and does Brock Smash for a couple, 2-3 weeks, and then he's gone again, because you're not going to give him the title, he's going to be gone again. So he's going to be gone again, apparently. No timetable. Could he show up tonight? Sure. I don't know. You don't know either. Do you? Do you? Huh? No, you don't. Who knows? But it feels as though they've explained him away off of the TV. Jamel says, that was great. I was highly sports entertained. I love that, actually. Shane says, Tom, maybe it's like a cow in the field. The grass is always greener across the fence. Yeah, sure. Timothy says, if the woman loves wrestling and football, she's a keeper. Timothy's standards for women are very low. All you got to do is love wrestling and football, and you're in with him. So you hear that, ladies? Pay attention. Take notes. Alicia says she can keep all, she can hope all she wants, but Vince will never let her walk. Just go to AEW. He wouldn't have a choice, Alicia, if her contract came up. He could throw every amount of money at the world that he wanted to at her. But, and by the way, you're right. A breaching contract is different. And dude, last week, people are like, Tom, what if she showed up tonight on Dynamite? I'm like, then they'll be sued. Because you can't just put her on your TV because it's breach contract, because your name, your face, your likeness is being used on someone else's TV. Can't do that. Got to get permission to show up anywhere. Everybody I ever interviewed that worked inside that company, I had to go through other people to get the interview. They just wouldn't. I couldn't just message, Big Show and say, hey, Show, want to come on the podcast? Okay. That was a terrible Big Show impression. Horrible. Anyway, got to go through their people. So, no, he couldn't just show up. What's up, Josh? Josh, you're extremely late, my friend. It's okay. Hey, Tom, who is the boss? You or your lovely wife? I will keep this secret if you say you are the boss. Hey, who's doing this show? Who's hanging out with you right now, me or her? Huh? Me. Want to know why? Because she doesn't care about this stuff. That's why. Nah. We all give up. Sandy, you married? Not Sandy. Sandy, are you married? I'll ask everybody here. Elvis, are you married, my friend? You know how this works. In my experience, I don't care about justice. Okay? I could care less. I want peace. I want peace and quiet. That's what I want. I don't care about justice. I'm not Judge Dredd over here. I don't care about it. I just want peace and quiet. I'm very zen in that approach. I don't care who's right or wrong. I just want peace and quiet. Having said that, I'm never right. Ever. Ray knows what I'm talking about. Come on, Ray, preach. Ray. Come on, Ray. You leave me hanging, Ray. Don't do it to me, Ray. Holler at your boy. Tina says, it feels weird to see Adam Pearce like that to me. He used to come to my hometown indie promotion when NWA affiliates were scattered around. And when Adam came around, it was a big deal. Oh, dude, yeah, he's very good. He's very good. Adam Pearce is very good. Not enough credit. Those of us who knew him before, yeah, for sure. Ray's got my back. Jamel using my catchphrase, from your lips to God's ears. Me neither, Tom. Wrong over here all the time, too. Yeah. Shannon's not married. Shannon, you can take solace in the fact if you decide to get married, you're never going to be wrong again. Your days being wrong are over. Moving on. Seth Rollins, darn it, is your new number one contender for Big E's I'm not going to do it. WWE Championship. There you go. Is Seth going to beat Big E? Here's my comment on this. I think it's going to be a heck of a victory and a heck of a notch in his belt, notching on his badge. Anybody get that reference? It's going to be some tremendous badge notching going on when Big E pins Seth Rollins. He needs to, number one. Number two, it's the right thing to do. Big E needs to hold that title for a good long time. We'll see what happens. Someone asked me earlier about NXT Halloween Havoc. Let's discuss it, shall we? Let's do that. What happened on the Halloween Havoc? Toxic Attraction. Gigi Dolan and JC Jane defeated Io Shirai and Zoe Stark and Indy Hartwell and Persia Perota. Scareway to Hell Ladder triple threat tag team match for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. You know where this is going. Joe Gacy with Harland, also known as Parker Boudreaux, defeated Malik Blade by pinfall. Singles match. Roderick Strong with the Diamond Mine defeated Odyssey Jones by pinfall. Singles match. Mandy Rose defeated Raquel Gonzalez. Chucky's Choice Trick or Treat Street Fight match for the NXT Women's Championship. That's right. They love them some Mandy. From the second that chick got there, I said chick, I apologize. From the second the lady got there, I said lady, I apologize. From the second the person got there and dyed her hair, you know what they were going for. Because every time the hard cam is there, the hard cam's there pretty much every week, Mandy Rose finds said hard cam and does this. Do you want to know why? Because it's her shtick. Because they want her to do it. So she's playing her part. Oh, and also they really love her a lot. The best, most talented woman, performer, person in that company in terms of that championship belt that Mandy now wears is Io Shirai, in one guy's opinion. And Mandy Rose is your NXT Women's Champion. Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, who've been together all of 15 minutes, are the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Take that and love it, or take it and hate it. Your choice. Imperium are your new NXT Tag Team Champions after defeating MSK. Lumberjack O'Lantern tag team match. It's clever. Tommaso Ciampa. Say it with me, kids. Tommaso Ciampa is the way you pronounce the man's name. Defeated Braun Breaker by pinfall to retain the NXT Championship. What'd you guys and gals think of NXT, not to be confused with WCW, Halloween Havoc? Alicia says, you know why I'm putting this up? Because a woman said it. Alicia says they love her backside. Alicia, if you were a man, I never would have put that up there. But I like women's opinions. That's why I put women's comments up all the time. Elvis says, I think when The Miz comes back, he should be on SmackDown as a face and go against Roman and beat Roman. That would be awesome. That'd be different. Don't think it's going to happen. Ooh. Alicia says it's the truth. I'm not going to agree with you or disagree with you. I don't want to be that guy. I can totally see where you're coming from. 2 words. Brace yourselves. Sex pot. Whew. Didn't it kind of feel like that a little bit? This is typical WWE stuff, man. If anyone looked at that title win and said, they did what? They put the belt on her. Why her? Come on. Come on. Come on. Now, hold up, back up, collect yourselves. Is Tom sitting here in his amazing shirt and his award-winning cup of coffee with the logo on it? Is he actually suggesting women can't be sexy while all the men are in the ring with no clothes on? Barely any shorts on? No, I'm not saying that. I've never said that. Woman can be as sexy as she wants to be. I don't care. It's fine with me. But when we see the same sort of gimmick and the same sort of promo and the same sort of from women in the one company consistently a whole bunch of times, all the time, every day, every night, every week, every month, every year, I eventually go, that smells familiar. So, it smells familiar. The same. Timothy's bringing us back on track by saying, I like Mandy Rose as a heel. Timothy, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong, my friend. You can like what you want to like. If you love what she's doing, go with God. People actually love Alexa Bliss's stuff, when she's freaking the doll and stuff. And black stuff coming down her eyes and her mouth. Oh, God in heaven. What? Some people pop for it. Love it, love it, love it. Not this guy. Toby says, to be fair, Mandy has improved a lot in her time. Hey, I'm not going to argue that. I will. You're dead wrong. She's improved, Toby. She's still not to the caliber of some of the other women in that company. Does that mean she doesn't get the title? This is WWE. They give the belts to whoever they want to, just like every company does, right? Not to single anybody out. Again, what do the women think? Tina says it's like the women there only allowed one personality. It's this one big major blanket personality. We all got to share it. Who wants to do it this week? Mandy, you're up. Saying. Elvis says Mandy looks fine. Well, you kept it classy. It's okay. You didn't say anything any bad or whatever. Christopher says Mandy is better than Eva. Chris, this toothpick is better than Eva. Come on. That's setting the bar pretty low, Chris, isn't it? I'm not disagreeing, but setting the bar pretty low. This cup of coffee is better than Eva Marie. Oh, before we split, remember how months ago when they started running the vignettes for Eva Marie, and everybody said, oh, it's hot garbage, Tom. It's hot garbage. It's hot garbage. And everybody kept telling me she's going to do the same thing she did before. What did I say? I want everyone to stop. Don't go back and try to find it. It's there. I promise you. I don't delete anything. But what did I say? Does anybody remember? What did I say? I said, give it a chance. Maybe we'll be wrong. She lives in the gym. Do you follow her on Instagram? She lives in the gym. If she's been living in that ring in the training facility in Florida, yeah, okay, sure, we'll see. I said, let's wait and see. Well, guess what? I waited to see. And guess what else?
Hot garbage.
Now, it's easy to kick someone when they're down, isn't it? Isn't it, Tom? Isn't it? Yeah.
Hot garbage.
And not only is it easy, it's fun too. Watch this.
Hot garbage.
Oh. I will say this, and I've said it before about other people, and I'm going to say it again. You ready? Some people are not cut out to do this for a living. Eva Marie is one of those people. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where do you get off saying that, Tom? In your stupid chair, in your stupid office, surrounded by pop vials. What are you, 9? The answer is no, I'm 12 in my head, okay? And second of all, I know what I see. I know what I see. She doesn't have it. Now, again, like I said about Nia Jax multiple times in the past, you notice I didn't say, not only does she not have it, Eva Marie's a bad person. She's terrible. Her friends are faking it, and people hate her, and I wish she would go away, jump off a roof somewhere. It's not personal. She might be the nicest person you've ever met. She might have friends aplenty, and her family may love her to death, and she might be an excellent person to hang out with in real life public, if you will. She's not cut out for this. I know what you're thinking. You're one podcast guy on one show on one Friday. What do you know? You're right. Maybe I don't know anything. Maybe all this is a sham and I'm just yanking you. I don't know. But from where I'm sitting, dude, she's not cut out for this. No disrespect. I'm sure she'd take disrespect to it. She's not cut out for this. Neither is Nia Jax. I'm sorry. I call like I see it. Call like I see it. What's up, Gerald? How you doing, my friend? Elvis, why are you always trying to pick a fight with me, man? Elvis, you're like the nicest cat, and then you try to pick a fight with me. That's so weird. Shane asked what I think about Carmella and her mask. I think it's WWE, brother. That's what I think. That's what I think. So, Toby says the fact that Eva gets more TV time than Tony Storm says all you need to know about how to look at women's wrestling. 100% right. And Alicia, my dear, yeah. You want to know why? So even they don't have it for two separate reasons. Eva Marie just doesn't have it. But I don't, and again, Tom, how do you know? I don't know. This is just my theory. Roll with it, okay? Fan theory time. I don't know that Eva Marie is surrounded by people who are in her ear constantly telling her, you got this, you got this, you got this. It's your game. You can do this. You're meant to do this. I think Nia Jax has that. I think she's had it from day one. I think people in her family, I think people inside that company, her friends, her coworkers, everyone around her has told her for years in her ear, this, you're meant to do this. This is your destiny. Your family, do it, do it, do it. You got to do this. This is what you're meant to do. You're born to do this. She's not. It's not working. She's not cut out for this. And the worst part about that conversation is she's hurting people. She's flat out hurting people. So, yeah, dangerous. She's dangerous in the ring. I make no apologies for my opinion on either girl, lady, excuse me, woman, sorry. I make no apologies, especially not about Nia Jax. She's dangerous in the ring. That's how I feel. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even care. Elvis says, hit the Cameron Grimes button. No, you were mean to me, E. No, you can't be mean to me and then demand I hit a button. I'm not doing it. Tim says you need to watch Ethan Page Toy Hunt YouTube every Sunday afternoon. Toy Hunt. Oh, cool. I might check that out. That sounds fun, actually. All right. Here's one thing I noticed before we get to the Smackdown preview. Man, we're going long today. If you want to hang out more than an hour, are you happy or what? Something I noticed on watching playback videos on YouTube, there's two moments from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown that really stood out to me. One moment on SmackDown is when Brock had the stair steps and hit Roman in the head with them. And Roman puts his hand up because if you don't put your hand up with an object coming at your head, what are you, an idiot? What are you, blind? In real life, you would, of course, cover up. That's why you put your hand up. Plus, you don't want to get really beamed by the set of stairs. If you watch the video, he goes, and then it glitches for half a sec, and then Roman falls down. And Zelina Vega against Piper Niven, not calling her by the other name. You can't make me. It's my show. Hits her in the head with the scepter. And guess what happened? She went, and it stopped and then glitched and then Piper fell down. WWE is cleaning up the videos so you don't see headshots. You want to know how you get away from that? How you get around that? Save the video guys some time. Don't do headshots anymore, okay? Ban closed fists. Go New Japan style where it's open forearms to the side of the head. That's how you feel. And by the way, the spot with Becky and Bianca where Bianca grabbed the kendo stick from her and then Becky just stood there and gave her back. And then she gave her back again and gave her back again. What are you doing? And Bianca didn't get there fast enough. I'm like, you're feeding. And it's fine to feed. You're supposed to feed. It's perfectly fine. But like that. I got thoughts on stuff. You guys know that, right? I'm just saying. Takes me out of it. You ever go to a movie you've really been wanting to see and there's stuff that happens and you're like, oh, God, no. You know what I mean? Takes me out of it. Shane says, would you say Eva Marie is a Major Guns at WWE? Here's what I'll say to that, Shane. They never really promoted Major Guns as being a wrestler, did they? She got in the ring very, very rarely, right? They never really pushed it down your throat with guns, did they? I don't think they did. Am I misremembering? They're pushing it down your throat with Eva Marie. She's a star pal. Look at her. 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 Yeah, I'm not falling for it. Chris says Cameron Grimes versus Dalton Castle would be oh my God. Yeah. Well, to be fair, either one of those guys versus anybody would be a fun match. Aaron says WWE has released very talented women and yet kept Nick. Yeah. I'm not arguing with that. Shannon's telling me to dance. No, you don't want that. Trust me. Toby said, you talking about the persona or talking about her in the ring? So, yeah. Let's go to the Smackdown preview, folks, and see what you guys think about what's going down tonight. As of this moment, there are no official matches announced for SmackDown, which is not surprising at all because it's that company and they do weird stuff. Wanna know why? Because they can. There you go. But advertised to appear tonight include the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, The New Day, Sheamus, Cesaro, and Drew McIntyre. And the arena itself also has WWE Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura listed, plus a dark main event with Reigns and SmackDown Tag Team Champions Usos versus McIntyre and the Street Profits. There you go. But I got nothing official for you. Ain't nothing official to talk about. You're going to roll the dice tonight, get what you get, and don't pitch a fit, as the teachers say to my kid. So, this week's Raw, 1.66 million up from last week's 1.59 million. Shut up and look out. We're on the rebound. NXT up 746 for the Halloween Havoc show, up from last week's 606. SmackDown this week, we don't know. Last week, 2.25 million. And that, my friends, leads us finally to the open floor. I was going to say open door. The forbidden floor. Is Caleb Braxton the new announcer for ring announcer? Ugh. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Some people love her to death. I'm not one of them. Daryl Hannah. The Daryl Hannah, 1980s actress Daryl Hannah from Splash. I'm kidding. I'm sure you've never heard that before, have you, Daryl? What will they do with Omos if AJ is gone for a while? Good question. Have him squash everybody. Boy, I'll tell you something about Omos, to your point. That guy is big and can look awkward at times. With the right packaging and the right time and the right story, he could be something very special for them. I hope he does. For him to be his size and to be as athletic as he is, yeah. Can he move that well? I say athletic, but he's not exactly Keith Lee in the ring, is he? We'll see what happens. I'd be interested to see what they he says hear it always. Yeah, I'm sure. Why did it be fire Greg Hamilton? It's easy. Reasons, baby, reasons. I don't know what the reason is, to be honest with you. I haven't heard. Will I ever become a Green Bay Packers fan? Earl, bite your tongue clean out of your head. Bite your tongue clean out of your head. Chris asked about Kelly Klein. Still no Kelly Klein. And now that Ring of Honor is shutting down, you would think whatever issues she had with him or they had with her are over now, right? Earl McKay says they need to put Omos up against Apollo's sidekick. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Major Devastation or something? What was the sidekick for Professor Chaos in South Park? General Disarray. That's like my favorite nickname of all time. It's the evil General Disarray. That's fun stuff. Azair. Thank you, Earl. Aziz. There it is. Someone would get it. I knew. The floor's open, kids. Hit me with something. Ray Dean, have you left? Ray's like, this guy's going longer than an hour. Oh, there he is. Slick Rick or Busta Rhymes? I'm going to finish it right there. Busta all the way. If Adam Cole invited you and your family to a Halloween party and had one extra ticket, could I join you? Does a Halloween party, he sells tickets to it? Well, he's Adam Cole. I guess he would need to. Yes. The answer is yes, but only if you cosplay as Adam Cole, complete with the wig and everything. You'd have to do that. Oh, actually, you have to cosplay as Britt Baker. If you could do that, Ray, you're in like Flynn. Thoughts on any ROH coming to WWE or AEW? Will they get over? Chris, that all depends on who we're talking about and where they're going. WWE? Yeah. AEW? Yes. Do you want to know why? Reasons. Two different philosophies, two different ways of looking at things. I'm not going to go into it now, but you know what I'm talking about. Alma says, who do you think will challenge Mickie James for the Impact Women's Championship? I think Peraza's got to be the first one, right? I think Peraza's going to get that title back. Why does Westbrook suck on the Lakers? Hey, man, Charlotte's 4-0 right now, 4-1 right now. I'm pretty happy about that. Daryl says, where will Bray end up? Oh, Wyndham Rotunda, my friend. Where will Wyndham end up? A lot of people are guessing a lot of things, man. Hey, Chris, anytime, dude. A lot of people are guessing a lot of things. I think anywhere that's a spot for him, that's good for him. And let's be honest. What's more important to you? What would be more important to Wyndham? The exposure or the opportunity? And if a company offers both, hard to say no to that, right? Where will he have some creative input? Where will he have say-so over his character? I would have to say everywhere he goes. So that's probably that's probably part of the deal. But number two is, where will he have the most exposure? AEW by far. Does that mean it's a good fit? It may not be. We hear all the time about, and we have heard before about so-and-so had signed on for a movie, but it wasn't a good fit, or something to that effect. So-and-so was going to start a TV show, but the timing wasn't right. And we look back and say, oh, what a different movie it could have been. What a different show. Yeah, that's true. We all fantasy book stuff, not just wrestling, but a lot of stuff. But sometimes the timing's just off. You know what I mean? Maybe the timing's off right now. I mean, do they need to throw any more star power at AEW? Or do they just need to roll with what they have and just keep on trucking? Sandy says, is Walter versus Cesaro live event England? Boy, I'd love to see. Is that going to be broadcast? Shane says, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Well, I don't do candy much anymore, Shane. Wyndham went old Impact immediately, Toby says. I completely agree with that. Totally agree with it, 100%. What's my favorite? All right, so I am at heart, always have been, always will be, a Reese's guy. So the Reese's peanut butter pumpkins. Jeez, God, now I want one or a dozen or 100. I don't do that stuff anymore. But when I did, let me tell you, I could eat them by the truckload, baby. Back the peanut butter truck up to Tom's door, my man. Roll up that door. Let me just have some. You know what I mean? Have you guys been hanging out with me for an hour? You guys are awesome. Couple more. We're going to take it home. It's already 1:27. I got 3 minutes. I'm getting on up out of here. Jamel says, I'd actually like to see Walter beat Roman for the Universal title. Ooh, I love that. Do I watch Moonshiners? No, sir. No, sir. I don't like it. Actually, I don't not like it. I've never watched it. Chad says, have you ever interviewed Brian Cage? No. It'd be interesting to interview him. I think he's an interesting, unique kind of guy, but I've never talked to him. What is Curtis Axel doing? He's out of the business, isn't he? Isn't Axel totally out of the business? Richard, if things going too fast. Ricardo, what's up, my friend? Do you think Spider-Man No Way Home will be the first billion-dollar movie of the pandemic? I thought we already had a billion-dollar movie of the pandemic, didn't we? The answer is yes. If we haven't, the answer, I believe, will be yes. I think so. I'm looking forward to that movie, actually. Elvis, I will tell the boy. I tell him every Friday, kids, just so you know. Will, if you're in on the tail end of the show, my friend, we went live at 12 noon today. Yes, Chris, I'm the smartest 12-year-old you know. Well, no, maybe not that you know, but yeah, I appreciate you. Earl says, is he a future star or no? And how long before the Uso brother comes up to the main roster? As I said, someone asked me that question earlier in the pod. I don't want to see him come up anytime soon. Give this guy time. Let it breathe. Give him 6 months to a year. And if the bloodline gimmick is still going, or even if it's not, bring him up then. But it's way too soon for that, in my opinion. Shannon says, what's the boy going to be for Halloween? Do you have your Christmas stuff ready? It's about that time. Shannon, here's the deal. 2 answers, 2 questions, 2 answers. 1, he's over Christmas. He's over Halloween. If he's over Christmas, I'd disown him. He's over Halloween. No trick-or-treat. No costume. No Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Nothing. He gutted the pumpkin for us, and I carved it, but that's as far as it went. And the Christmas tree goes up Monday. Suck it, Grinches. I get into the season, baby. Believe that. Believe that. Holler at your boy. You want to talk some Christmas? I'm your man, okay? All day, every day. All day, every day. My tree goes up every year November 1st. I make no apologies. It's what I do. It's how I roll. It's what I am, baby. Santa's Village up in here. I'm going to throw fake snow all over the place. Just saying. Can't wait. My wife says, because we got the 2 new cats, right? And she says, you're seriously going to put the tree up again on November 1st? I was like, yeah, of course I am. You know how I roll. And she goes, well, she said, those 2 cats are just going to pull it down. I said, well, then I'll pick it up. There you go. Shane, because you and I are friends, I'll let it go because that you love the Cowboys. Ray says he's getting a shirt. Ray, good for you, my friend. Ray, you have a shirt already. Oh, you're talking about like a shirt for Christmas? Hey, if you guys are looking for stocking stuffers, or if your family is, or just some good old-fashioned great Christmas gifts, guess what you can do? tinyurl.com/TomClarkPods. Look at the bottom. It'll tell you all about it. Merch for Tom Clark's Main Event and Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. Ray, you're going to buy a shirt for your daughter. Sandy, you still here? Ray's becoming my new favorite fan, Sandy. And Sandy's bought a buttload of stuff from me, too. Seriously. That's pretty good. I love Charlie Brown, man. Charlie Brown is my jam. My jam. Okay. So, I'm going to hype the other show for 2 secs. There's 16 of you here. 19? Heck yes. Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. We focus on movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. Okay? It's a geek culture / pop culture podcast on all the topics and the word more contains a lot of stuff. We do pro wrestling on there sometimes, movies and music. Last night, Phil and I did the episode on Rogue One that I'll be dropping at some point. Stay tuned for that. Next Friday, we're doing the Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest. I'm pumped up for that one too. Old school rap guy over here. And that'll be a fun episode. Today, guess what happens at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time? Myself and Troy and James from the Untitled Wrestling Podcast are doing a 6M podcast on Ghostbusters. Something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Okay, so that's all I got for you. Please go subscribe to Tom Clark 6M Podcast. There's a new podcast feature on the Facebook. I hooked my pods up through there. You're going to get notifications when new episodes are published. And when you guys click on there, it counts as a download. So I'd very much appreciate if you guys would show me some love. It's free to subscribe. It always has been. So please go show me some love. I appreciate you. Ray, because I love you, Ray, and because you're my boy, Ray. You're my boy, Ray. I might do that from now on. Ray, this one's for you. I'm out. I'm getting out. Everybody have a great week. Have a great weekend. I appreciate all of you. And thanks as always for watching. You guys are the mostest, bestest of all time. And keep showing the love to the shows. And I appreciate it today and always. Remember, be good this weekend. Catch some local pro wrestling if you can. Support the cause. Support the industry. Watch some pro wrestling on TV or on your local streaming services. Enjoy yourselves. Most importantly, have a safe and happy and healthy Halloween. That's it for me, kids. I'm getting out of here. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Please be safe this weekend. Hope you and your kids have a blast on Sunday. And again, everybody be safe, and we will see you next time, all right? Thanks much, folks. Thank you again, people. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Tom Clark's Main Event.